Hey, I'm Flip. I'm one of the guys that created PBRGen. PBRGen is a tool that you can use to create seamless materials for your games or your animations. We've tried really hard to remove the slot machine feeling from our tool, so we really put a lot of effort into creating inputs and tools that give artists the control that they need to create the stuff that's in their mind, and not the random thing that AI produces. In this video, I'll go over creating a material from a photograph that you've taken. And by doing that, I can also explain a little bit more about the philosophy behind the tools and the core principles, so that you better understand how it works and that you can also see how you can create different materials with it. So to get started, let's load up the photograph that I've taken. Just open up a PureRef window. It's this photograph of some street tiles in a neighborhood. And before I start trying to create something from this, I'll first explain like the workflow in the tool. It's 5 steps. You can see them here. The first step is always that you start with a color texture. It can be a photo or something that you generate, which will be later used to create the PBR maps in your material. Second step is optional, but you can edit your image that you created or uploaded with AI. Different models, so yeah, for the tweaks, it can be really handy. The third step is to create a material. That's a step where the PBR maps are created, like the normal map and the displacement map and those things. There's always like no, there's not always, like, because you can optionally tick it on or off, but like standard, there's an option in there that will make sure that your material is 100% seamless. And when you have done that, then you can go to the tweak section where you can tweak your individual maps to get the look that you want. And the latest section is the export section, and that does what it says. It exports your material. You can also export a 3D file, but you can also publish your material here, which creates a link that you can share with others, so that you can share your material and that others can download it as well. That being said, to get started, you press this big blue button in the top that always creates a new material. You can work on multiple materials at the same time, by the way. Even if they are generating things or you're waiting for things, you can just skip back and forth between multiple materials and do tweaks on one while the other one is generating. To get from this image to a material, you can use a few different ways. You can do it actually by generating it or by uploading it. The generate section, you will get a little bit less close to this result, but you have the added flexibility of adding more input, so you can like very easily change the shape of these tiles, the colors, the style. I will explain it later more. And then the second one is uploading, and that like gives you really the power to stay really close to this image. Let's start with the generate one. As in a lot of AI programs, the core thing is the prompt, and that's the same in our program. So you can just type here what you want, like blue and gray concrete tiles with moss in between the tiles and stuff like that. But to make your life easy, and as you noticed, I'm not a native English speaker, although I think you can probably type it in your own language in there as well. But you can just drag the image in here. And that will create a prompt for you that creates something based on this material. To quickly go over the other inputs in this section, you have your prompt style. That's this blue text. Everything in here gets added to the prompt, and you can see what it does. And that's why we put it in a more distinctive color here. But yeah, this makes sure that it is a seamless texture. It's not lit and like it's from top-down perspective, stuff like that. You can read it here. The second input is input colors. That's where you can just choose colors. You can choose colors with this window, or you can just pick a color. Um, you can also pick colors from other windows open on your computer, so that's pretty handy. And yeah, another input is the guide map, which is a really handy one. And the guide map is a texture that steers the composition of your material. You can choose a preset, you can generate your own, or you can upload a texture. These are the presets, for example. So you would be able to choose a hexagon or like penny tiles or like whatever, cobblestones, and generate. We have now a brick generator in there. We are planning to add a lot more generators in there in the future for planks and for herringbone tiles and like stuff. Yeah, we want to add a lot of generators in there. And then you have the model that you select. Standard is Flux Klein. It's pretty cheap, it's super fast, and it gives quite good results. So it's the best price quality model in my opinion. So that's why it's the standard one. That being said, if you need more prompt adherence, if you notice that like the outcomes are drifting away from the things that you want, then you could try another model. I would say go for Nano Banana 2 for the quality. But yeah, these models are a lot more expensive. Resolution, number of textures, yeah, that explains itself. Let's just hit generate start textures and see what it does. So when you click a generated start texture, you see that it gets loaded on the shader ball, and here you see another one. And yeah, you can see that it's not the same texture, but you can also see where it got its inspiration from. And this is just by dragging this image into the prompt box. So that's already pretty close. On the top here, you can switch between the 2D and the 3D view. When you hit that, you can look at the texture in the 2D view. It's a lot bluer here than in the viewport, but that's because I have an HDRI in here. So maybe just switch to the lighting. This is the lights with shadows. And these are just white, so you can look at the colors a little bit better. By the way, that's all also in the 3D viewport menu. You can choose your HDRI and stuff like that. Yeah. So that being said, this is not a PBR material. This is just like the start texture, but you can already see what it does. Yeah, I think what you can see with AI is already clearly that it does some weird things with the shapes. It doesn't understand that these things are roughly the same size. So our solution to that is to add a guide map, and well, let's make them sort of the same shape as this one. Or again, choose a preset or upload your own. Well, let's use that one and generate two again. And then you can already see that it just stays so much, yeah, the bricks are like, or the bricks or the tiles, they're more like what you would expect them to be. Although I think they are even a little bit longer, so let's make it like that. Or like that. And let's try it again. didn't really change it, and it doesn't remember it, so I don't know if I pressed use map, and otherwise it's something that I'm going to fix directly. Let's hit it again. Okay, that's a bug in our tool. Let's see if this resets it. I think it's in the cache. Okay, I'll have to look into that. But anyhow, you understand the idea of that, and the textures, they just cling on to that image. If you want to get a little bit closer to the colors, then what you can do is also drag the image again into this section and input them into the input colors. And then it's analyzing your image and it's extracting the colors. And yeah, let's see what it does again. And then you see you get something that's a bit more closer to the photograph. Yeah, what you can also try to do is change the model that you use. So you can use Nano Banana 2, or use Nano Banana 1, or use ChatGPT image and see what those do. And another one that's not really relevant for this kind of material, because the prompt style is realistic albedo and like it is a realistic texture, so that it's probably good. But yeah, just to show what you can do, yeah, I can, for example, drag in this image into the prompt style. And then it analyzes your image and it creates a prompt style of that image. And yeah, let's see what that does with Flux first. And then let's also try one with Nano Banana. And then you see that you get this painterly style because that was in the prompt. Yeah, so, and maybe also let's look at the other textures that it created. This one was with Nano Banana, and I think, yeah, you see it well, I need to delete this one. You see that it more resembles this one. This one was with another Nano Banana, the first one. I don't like this so much. This one was with ChatGPT. Yeah, it's not the look I'm after. And this was the painted one with Nano Banana, and I think these are with Flux. And you see that like the stylistic ones are pretty good with Flux. Let's look at the next one. Yeah, this is also funny. This really took like the dotted thing. How do you say it? I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, let's choose one. Which one did I like? Not that one, not that one. This one, I think. And by the way, textures that keep loading, if they fail, you won't pay your credits for it. Will automatically get refunded. This will just fail after some time. Yeah, that being said, you can continue with that start texture. And well, actually, let me go over the other methods that I said in the beginning that you can try with this. And that's like creating a new material and then uploading your texture. Super simple, same workflow. Just drag it in there. Continue with uploaded texture. We're planning to also put like a perspective removal tool in there in the near future, which would be really handy for stuff like this. But let's just do it like this, like now. And also here you go to edit texture, and then there are some presets. And we have one preset that is pretty good for the perspective removal. It's called Strong Perspective Removal. It's a prompt, and it also comes with the model. This works very good with GPT Image 5, so that's why we chose it. But you can, of course, try and experiment with your own prompts and your and the own model that you want to use. And our tool is fully agnostic, by the way. So in the future, when new models come out, we will put them in the tool. Also, when you see a new model came out and it's not in our tool yet, like hit the feedback button and say like add this new model, and then we'll pick that up. We really listen to the stuff that you say in the feedback button, because it's super important for us, and it like really helps us make the tool better. So that is super important. So please, if you see something that doesn't work or you want something, let us know. We will listen to that. That being said, this is the texture, the prompt, and then you just say edit texture. Then it starts generating with GPT image. It's quite a slow model, so I'll leave that a little bit and I'll go back to the other model. Because yeah, you can do multiple materials at the same time and edit this texture. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe what I want is like do something custom, remove half of the moss. And for editing, Flux is not that good. If you say like change colors and stuff like that, it works. But like for stuff that's a little bit more complicated like this, I would always choose like GPT or Nano Banana. Edit that one. You can see by the green check mark that the previous material has already finished. And now you see that it removed like the perspective and yeah, created this start texture of it. You see that it also like here on the edges, it like, yeah, how do you say it? It does align, but it aligns too good. So what you can also do is like go back to the first one and just hit it again. It will run with a different seed and you will get a different result. And now I see that this one is ready, so I go back to that one, and it didn't remove half of the moss. So maybe try GPT. Maybe that does the trick. And then we go back to this material. Yeah, and now you see that it like it's better on the tiling. Again, you can hit V to see how it looks and hit the T. And then you see like, yeah, there's some stuff here that's not perfect yet, but we can get it out on the pass with the material. And yeah, let's try this one. Here you can also, by the way, check the seam size. This, that you can adjust how you give it to the prompt. Make it as small as possible. I would say something like this. Choose the resolution of your material and then just say create material from texture. This one is done now. So let's see what GPT image did. Yeah, I changed the image too much. I don't like it. Let's try it again with Nano Banana. yeah, now it removed some moss. So that's what you can do in this step. And I have to say, the power of these edit models on images, because I use them daily also for other work that I do, I'm not super impressed with it yet, but like this will definitely get better in the future. If you see where we were a year ago, one of these days a model comes out that does these things a lot better, and then we'll just put it in the tool, and you have a much better workflow. This is the material that has just been generated. You can see with the bracket how it tiles. And yeah, there are some different maps in there that you can click here. This is the displacement, for example. You can use it, view it in flat mode or in effect mode, and yeah, then you can see what it does. You can change it, like the displacement scale. You can change the roughness. Like, and if you hit like the shift button on the outputs of levels, then you can move them at the same time. So you can make it a lot more glossy. I don't really like this. I'll put it back. Yeah, and for example, in the color section, this is basically a layer stack of things that you can add. So you can also say like, I want to, for example, change the saturation, make it a little bit more saturated. Then you can get something like that, or like add a levels tool here, and then like say maybe shift the gamma a little bit, do stuff like that. Normal, you can change the intensity. Oh yeah, and every button has like a every slider has like a reset button here, so you can set it to the default. And yeah, that is how that works. I think this is a little bit too much, but something like that. Next step is going to the export section. The tool automatically created a material name for you. You can also change it or add something, like you can make it blue weathered cobblestone or yeah, whatever. Here you can choose like the maps that you want to export. This one doesn't have metal, so I'll tick that off. You can choose the resolution that you want to export. There's an option to add packed textures, and you can also include a 3D model. And basically that's it. Then you just hit download material. It will create a zip file for you. All your maps are in there, and your 3D file if you asked for that, or like so the color map and stuff like that. Everything is in there. And the last thing that you can also do here is create a shareable link. And when you click that, it will bake all the maps, and we should add a loading indicator to that one too. Now that I see it, if I click this away, just move it to my other screen. Then you can see it gets added to your published materials. And what that does, it creates a link that anyone on the internet can see, so you can share your materials with others. So if you double click this one, it will take you there. Yeah, and there's your material. Yeah, that basically is it. If you have questions, feedback, go to our Discord channel, please, or send me an email, book a meeting with me if you want to have some explanation on the tool. It's not a sales pitch, just happy to explain how things work. thanks so much for watching, and have a good one. Cheers.